If you asked family, friends, colleagues for 5 hashtags to describe you, what would they be and how would they make you feel? If we thought about doing it at a dinner party on a Saturday night, it sounds fun, doesn't it? Let's get everybody to give me hashtags. How do I feel about it? Yet on the other side, it can be terrifying to see how other people see us versus how we see ourselves. We're pretty tough on ourselves, critical, where others have an opportunity to see our brilliance, see the light we shine. When I was 3 years old, I started dancing, and I spent from 3 to 23. I was a hashtag dancer. It's how I saw myself, how my family saw me. In 2nd grade, my teacher said, "Stand up by the side of your desk and read the next page out loud." I did, except I was hashtag shy and I had a lisp. I just couldn't get the words out. It was mortifying. I got identified to start going to speech therapy, reading tutors, all the time, embarrassed as I was taken out of the classroom amongst my peers. And it got in the way of the hashtag dancer I was after school. Do you ever see that t-shirt? It goes, "Shut up and dance." Well, why did I need to learn how to speak? Read. I just needed to dance. From that moment on, I identified myself as hashtag stupid and hashtag not smart. At 18, this hashtag dancer auditioned for summer stock. And I got accepted. Not far from here, actually. The first day there, the director-choreographer pulls me aside and said, "I'd like you to be the dance captain, the leader of all those dancers." He saw hashtag leader. I saw hashtag terrified. You see, those were real dancers. They were pounding the pavement in New York City, auditioning for Broadway shows. I was 18 years old. I just finished my freshman year of college. And although I was getting a degree in dance, and I could keep up, I didn't see myself as that hashtag leader. At 23, when I blew out my knee, it was time to enter the business world. I used my other degree, which is in communications. I got all professional, went out, and got my first job. And then I got fired. You see, I told you I was hashtag not so smart. It was my time in the business world, and I found my way. It took me a moment or two to find my pace, to find my steps. I eventually landed in the printing industry. And I went on to build my own business, a multiple 7-figure business. I made an impact. I was able to raise my children in New York City, which was my dream. At 45, I had that midlife crisis. That was the catalyst to birth the company I own today, where I help leaders step into their brilliance, their confidence. I help businesses scale, plan their succession, and long-range plans. But I was still carrying around that ball of chain of hashtag stupid and hashtag not smart from those early years. You see, as a printer, I never felt very accomplished. It was a job, a job to do, a way to provide for my family. This was really important work. Was I up to it? One day, I had a sales conversation with a potential client, an owner of a law firm. She asked me, smart, savvy woman, she asked me a lot of questions as I was asking her a lot of questions about the scaling of her firm. One of those questions was, tell me about your background. What was your education? I knew I had to fess up. But she took a breath and said, I graduated summa cum laude. So you was saying about your education, Ivy? It was time. I said, I have a degree in communications and a degree in dance. I try to muffle. You know, there was no videos back in the day. We asked a few more questions about her business and followed and scheduled that follow-up call, which is protocol. Got on the phone that next week, waiting for, I'm not interested. We all knew it was coming. Who's hiring a dancer to scale a law firm? Really? She picked up the phone and she said, Ivy, I'm ready to get started. Hashtag shocked. She saw hashtag qualified in that moment. I had to ask the question, what brought you to the yes? And she said, I knew I would hire you when I found out you were a dancer. There's a professional question, you might have heard it before, ladies and gentlemen, that goes, tell me more about that. That's when a professional needs to get their brain and their vocal cords engaged together, and you need to take that breath. And she went on to say, Ivy, I knew I would hire you when I found out you were a dancer because I danced as a kid. Not serious like you, but I remember those girls showing up. Their feet were bloody. They would wrap them up in moleskin, some bandages, and put their shoes on. If they had a bit of a cold, maybe they weren't well, they would put a scarf around, a sweater on, and they would never miss a class, let alone a rehearsal. Because when I thought about scaling this firm, I knew I wanted somebody who had that grit, that commitment, who wasn't afraid of getting a little bit sweaty with me. It's interesting. My mother always said she would have been a brilliant CEO, smart woman, never had a college education, could run circles around any CFO I know today with numbers and the insightful questions she would ask. When she saw me in the early years of my current company and she saw how stumped I was, she said, you're not charging your value. Ivy, look at the numbers. It's not scalable. You're helping others and you're not helping yourself. That outside perspective, that mirror that we don't see. She saw hashtag smart. She saw hashtag CEO. She saw hashtag a lot of other things. She is a mom. I started thinking about what she was saying, and I realized she's right. It's time to start stepping into my value. That's the time I made the commitment to start shifting my own mindset. We shift our mindset with baby steps, little by little by little. And as I was doing that, I noticed something amongst my clients. This question of charging your value, earning your value, stepping into your value. Not that long ago, I was working on a strategic plan for a client. The strategic plan for the next 12 months, also in a different law firm. And I asked her an important question. I said, what are you charging hourly? And what are you charging your attorneys out hourly? It's part of the financial formula. She goes, we're all high value. I charge everybody out the same. I said, that's wonderful, interesting. Would you be open to shift your mindset? Would you be open to seeing yourself as the founder, somebody who took the ingenuity to build this firm, somebody who has brought in millions of dollars of clients and business over the years, somebody who hired all these people? She said, ooh, I have to think about that. I don't know if I'm ready to raise my rate. So she thought about it. We circled back a few weeks later, and she said, you know what, Ivy? I did it. Took your advice. I raised my rate. Well, in doing my responsibility, we continued to check in on the conversation over the next several months. And she came back to me a while later. She goes, I have to tell you, she was hashtag shocked. nobody questioned her. Nobody questioned her value. We think great leaders have a ton of confidence. Barbara Corcoran has been known to say she looks to work with people who have a great idea, who are smart, but it's okay to have a little self-doubt. It's okay not to be fully confident and to earn your leadership. She uses it as an expression that says, when somebody has that little bit of self-doubt, it's the motivation for them to build, grow, and scale. Who wants to work with those know-it-alls of the world? Interestingly enough, speaking of confidence, she has also been known to say, when she sold her real estate company, the Corcoran Group, in 2001, for $66 million, she still thinks back sometimes and say, was it a fluke? Did she have a lucky break? Maya Angelou has said, when somebody shows us who they are the first time, believe them. If we look at the perspective we're talking about today, of looking at the other people's perspective of us, how they see us, and we paraphrase it this way, if somebody we know, love, and trust shows us who we are, can we believe them that first time? That's #possible. In leadership, own who you are. Own the reflection of how others see you. Step into that brilliance. Step into the power. Lead from a place and go big and bold. In your career, you want to be a seat in that boardroom with grace and confidence? Do you want to be the leader of the boardroom? Own it. Go for it. You want to build that business? Go big. Why not? Build the vision, make it happen. When you see that person in your life who could be the one in your heart, go for it. Don't wait. Ask them out. Be the parents that we see in others that are kind, patient, and loving. Be the sons and daughters for our senior parents, like my mom, who they see and admire and respect. Be the leader you see in others and you admire today, because you already are. You just haven't looked in that mirror and owned it. And then, look around you and see the light in others and share your hashtags with them. Help them step into their brilliance. As we continue to shine the light, we have the opportunity to have a ripple effect and light up this world. That is #possibility.